Today, I'm doing my presentation on the Shuar People, an indigenous native tribe located in South America. Now, the Shuar People live in today's Ecuador on the eastern part in the Amazon forest. Now, what makes the Shuar People so much different from any other tribe in the world is that they still practice the religious sacrifice of Sansa. What Sansa is it's when one person of their tribe, a warrior, goes out, has a fight against another tribe, and specifically against another warrior, so it's going to be a one-on-one battle. And the loser of that battle then loses their body, their flesh, from the head down, and it goes back into nature. And then their head is then used to be shrunken and worn by the warrior who defeated him. Now, the Shuar people have a population of what's been estimated from National Geographic of roughly 1,500 to 2,500 people. What I'm going to talk to you about next is the process and the reasons why the people of the Shuar village still practice Sansa today. And then I'm also going to talk to you about the celebration that the people have after this is all said and done. Now, after the warrior goes out and kills the other rival warrior, what he does is he cuts off the head, usually around the top part of the collarbone, around the neck, around the collarbone, and then the back of the neck once again. What he'll then do, as you can see with my example here of baseball, we're going to pretend like this is the defeated warrior who lost in the battle. What he'll then do is he'll cut a slit into the back of the warrior's head, roughly in the middle here, going all the way down to where he cut from behind the neck. From then forth, he'll continue to cut and peel the skin until it's fully off of the skull. After that is done, the Shuar warrior then places the skull into the river as a gift to the anaconda. Now, once the Shuar warrior has his skin from the head of the warrior he defeated, he'll then go on and place the water into a pot and get it to roughly boiling temperature. Once the water is boiling, he'll place the head of the defeated warrior, the skin, inside out and in the water for roughly 30 minutes. Once that is done, he hangs it up to dry and repeats the process over and over again for up to 5 to 6 days until the head is shrunken to about the size of a fist or the size of a baseball. Once the warrior has returned and the Sansa is ready to be worn, the Shuar then calls on Ayampum, the spirit of life and death. The reason why they call upon him is because they want no revenge to come from the warrior who was killed in the process. Now, once the warrior returns home, he heats up some hot stones and he puts them back into the head, sews the mouth shut and the bottom by the neck, and lets it sit for about a half hour, 45 minutes. He repeats this until there can be no more stones that fall out of the neck of the part of the head. After that is done, he cuts open the neck, takes out the rocks, and then he places hot sand inside and sews it shut. That way, he can now mold the face of the Sansa. He can mold the eyebrows, he can mold the eyelids, the nose, and the mouth. Once that is done, the community then collects wood and goes out on a huge hunt for an enormous celebration of their returning warrior. The women then come into one building where the warrior is, and they bless away the bad omens to protect him from evil. This is done basically so that the memory of the killing is forgotten and that the warrior can go on and live his life. Once the women are done with that process, the warrior then meets with an elder in front of the entire community. Here, the elder then lights up his peace pipe, and then he smokes tobacco. Once the tobacco is rolling good, and there's going to be lots and lots of smoke. The elder will then lay the warrior down onto his back. He will lean forward, and he will then blow smoke into the warrior's nose. The reason why he does this is because he does not want the warrior to dream of death when he goes to bed at night, nor does he want him to relive the memory or the killing of the warrior. Once that is done, the elder then takes the warrior to a river such as this. He'll cut off roughly 3 to 4 inches of the warrior's hair, just in case any bad omens were to be attached at that point of the killing. Once that is done, the warrior is then washed in the river, and he is given new clothes by the people of the community. This is basically as a sign of a new beginning or born again warrior. And then after all that is said and done, the people have a giant celebration and feast, and they do this with many, many blessings in hopes that the soul will be born again into the womb of one of the women in their tribe. So, what we talked about today is the Shuar people and how they're an indigenous tribe still located today on the eastern part of Ecuador. We talked about how they have roughly 1,500 to 2,500 people in their tribe today. We also talked about the celebration of santas worn by warriors who go out and kill other warriors, the shrinking of the head, and the process of how it's done. What I hope you learned today is something new about a tribe that is still done today. It may be gross, it may be disgusting, but because of religious purposes, it's still allowed to be done. There's a battle going today that I also want you to know about between the Shuar people and the government of Ecuador. What they don't want you to know about is how the people of Ecuador have been trying to kill off the Shuar people for over 2 centuries. I hope I was able to aware you of this tragedy that is going on today with the Shuar people, and I hope you learn more about their tribe. Hope you have a great day.